Hello, welcome everybody here at the ECNP Daily. We're recording from the ECNP Congress and I'm sitting here with three lovely guests. My name is Ilse Graat. I'm a member of the Early Career Advisory Panel and today we're gonna reflect on the Congress so far. And we're gonna also look ahead on the days that are yet to come. What are things that we can't miss? I'm sitting here with Kim Kuypers. She's associate professor at the University of Maastricht, and her research focuses on the clinical use of psychedelics. Next to her is Andreas Reif. He is a psychiatrist and chair of the Department of Psychiatry, Psychosomatic Medicine and Psychotherapy in Frankfurt. And his research focuses on ADHD, mood and anxiety disorders, especially bipolar disorder, depression and panic disorders. And next to him we have Ewelina Knapska, associate professor at the Nenki Institute of Experimental Biology, PAS, and she is studying the role of the amygdala in control of socially transferred emotions. Thank you very much for being here. How is it to be back here at this Congress in Vienna with so many people again, finally?
Yeah, for me, great. It's so nice to see people again, to be able to talk with a real person, not with a screen in between. So yeah, really positive vibe.
Absolutely. I think we had an in-person meeting last year already in Lisbon, which was great. The weather was better, though it was still tainted by the pandemic, I would say. We had all the distancing rules, we had the face masks and everything, and here it much more feels like a normal Congress. Yeah. I hope it's viable, I hope it's sustainable and that we don't have infections, but still it's great to have this real feeling, and just the numbers are almost back to pre-COVID times, and this interaction, the atmosphere, the hustle and bustle that you can easily feel when you're walking down the hallways, that's just so great to experience, and really happy to be here again.
Yeah, good to hear. Yeah.
Oh yes, it's great. I really enjoyed meeting people again and discussing science in person. It really makes a difference to be in person.
Yeah, good to hear. Yeah. Are there any new things this year, or any things that you noticed, like in comparison to different earlier years, or is it just as good as it already was?
It always was good, and it's getting better and better all the time, I would say. I can only, I've been chairing 2 sessions today, and both of them were really exciting. So we had the new medication session. That's become a tradition by now. I think it was the 3rd time. Kim was speaking 2 years ago, we just realized, and I think that resonates very well with the audience. The room was really packed. It was full to the last seat, and we had 6 presentations about new medications, pivotal phase 2 trials showing positive data. For instance, one on KarXT having an effect size of 0.9 in schizophrenia, which was really amazing, or another compound in agitation, schizophrenia and bipolar disorder that also had an effect size of 1.0. So I think we are in a really exciting time in treating mental disorders. We have all the new medications coming up. The industry is finally investing again and really has new compounds that will make it to the market. And on the other end of the spectrum, we had a symposium on innovative psychotherapy, which we dubbed 4.0. And I've been asked why 4.0. So it was 1.0 Freudian psychoanalysis, 2.0 CBT, 3.0 all the third wave therapies, and now we're at 4.0, and that would be mechanism-based, neurobiology-based psychotherapy using, for instance, virtual reality or MDMA-assisted psychotherapy. I think that resonates well with your research as well. And that was exciting to see that here our claim of neuroscience applied also has an echo in psychotherapy and not only neurostimulation or neuropharmacology. And that's just great to see how our research efforts now really make a difference when we treat patients.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you very much, Andreas, also for telling us a bit of the highlights of those symposia. Yeah.
Well, I'm interested in animal models, so today we had very interesting symposium on using machine learning for analyzing animal behavior, and what was shown was great. We can capture even very slight differences in mice behavior, so I think it's like very exciting. I also attended a session on dopamine, which was not exactly my field, but I learned a lot, so I really enjoyed it. It was like hot topic session, so the new discoveries. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah. And linked to the animal behavior, so I attended a plenary of, I think it was play behavior in animals. It was such a lovely presentation, and people were really all laughing, so that was good. And I attended a session about anxiety disorders and novel treatments, also well attended. And then what more? Oh yeah, they got brain access. So the speaker said people do not talk about it enough, and so she brought it to the stage. It was really good. And then I also went to your session.
Oh, thanks.
I had to wait to be able to enter the room because it was full.
I mean, that's good and bad at the same time.
No, but it was worth the waiting. Yeah, it's really lovely.
Yeah, good to hear. Yeah, it is indeed what you say. Some sessions you really have to be early. I try to attend also a couple of campfire sessions, but my advice to the people who are watching this would be like, if you really want to see a campfire session, be early. Yeah. It's but really lovely that they have the campfire sessions this year, because it's such a nice, intimate vibe. I don't know if you've been to any.
Well, I didn't find the time today, so I will certainly have to replay the play plenary, because I couldn't attend that either. I didn't have the chance to go to the campfires, and that's really a pity, because I love this format a lot. I think it has ample room of interaction, and it's always a very enjoyable thing. I haven't been able to attend the Love Your Brain sessions either. I don't know, has any of you been there?
Yes, I fully agree that that's a great idea. I actually moderate one of the campfire sessions. We discussed the need of animal research. It was very lively. There's a lot of people and very engaged in discussions, so it was really great. Actually, it was like a bit too little time to finish.
Yes, 45 minutes. It can be, especially because it's so interactive. It's more of a conversation, really. But that's also the charm of it, I think. Yeah.
And if I may say so, I think that is really the future for face-to-face meetings. These more scientific symposia where you have 4 talks in a row, that is something that you easily can deliver online, and that is scalable. We do that hybrid now, so you have the in-person people coming here, we can watch it online. That's all nice and fair, but you could do the whole endeavor online. But the campfires and the smaller things, the Love Your Brain sessions, the career development sessions, that is something that really benefits from personal interactions. And I think if you, go somewhere, if you find the time, find the flight, etc., then you go there to a conference for exactly these reasons. And I'm really glad that this is increasingly implemented in the conference program.
I agree, but I also think that the sessions with the general talks are very good, because you have this Q&A. That is, talks you can do online, but the Q&A, that is something that should be live. Yeah.
Yes, and have you been able to look at some of the posters as well? Because that is also, I think, something that what I personally really like with poster presentation, especially if the person who made it is already also there, that you also can have this face-to-face encounter. That's really nice. Yeah.
I managed to look at some of them, but definitely I had too little time for interactions, so I plan to catch up in the next sessions. But definitely it's a lot of things going on at the same time.
And linking to that, I have some kind of stress of picking the right session. It are all so good sessions, so it's so difficult to
paradox of
decision.
A lot of
choice.
fear of missing out here on the conference.
Yeah.
But good
Yeah.
that we have these recordings.
Yes.
I think.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, and Andreas, tomorrow you're gonna moderate one of
Yeah.
the poster jams.
Yeah, I think that I'm looking forward to that a lot. That's going to be fun. So we have a huge poster session in general. We have almost 1,000 posters this year, which is
That's a
great.
lot.
That means that one out of 4 participants in the Congress presents a poster. That's quite a good ratio, I would say. And as you can't watch them all, we have selected the best of them for the poster jams, and that means very elevator pitch type of presentation of your data, 3 minutes, very crisp, very quick. Your microphone will be taken away after 3 minutes. And I think that's really a great way of, first, for the young researchers presenting their data in an easily digestible form, but also for the audience, because, I mean, within a very short time, you can learn a lot.
Yep.
So
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah.
I think 5.
Also before noon, there are
Yes.
2 sessions. Again, a lot to do.
Yeah, they're thematically ordered, so mood disorders or psychosis
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah, and it's really the best research you can find that is presented in poster jams.
Yes, and also really like new findings, because of course the deadline is not so much ahead of the conference. Yeah.
Probably one comment to the posters, because I think it's always great to have the poster presentations and to have the interactions, but if you miss it, then you still can look it up on the program. Most of the posters are e-posters that you can, on your flight home or wherever, you can look up what you have missed and approach the author. I think that's a great thing as well.
Yes, good comments. Yeah. And Kim, yesterday you had a session on psychedelics.
Yes. Indeed.
Yes. Yeah. How was it?
It was well attended. I really liked it. I think we had a sold-out room. We discussed psilocybin in the treatment of depression, ayahuasca in the treatment of depression, the effects of psilocybin on sleep. Very interesting, relevant also for depression. And then my topic, microdosing. I think it was well received. Yeah.
Good to hear, yes. And I think psychedelics are really a hot topic, something we've seen over the past years already. Like the sessions on psychedelics are always really well attended. And next year in March 2023, there's also an ECNP Frontiers meeting on psychedelics.
Yeah, yeah.
Why do you think it's so popular now amongst psychiatrists and neuroscientists?
Yeah, I think because of the unmet needs of the patients really, some patients are not helped. Psychedelics can be an option, and I also think that psychiatrists are looking for alternatives. But you say it's a hot topic. I see it as a hot topic, but I also do see other developments like the gut-brain axis that are highly interesting.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
definitely. Yeah, there are a lot of hot topics.
Yeah, indeed, indeed.
Yeah. And Ewelina, you are part of the program committee, like the scientific program committee. How was it this year to make the program for ECNP Congress?
It was difficult, too many interesting topics, and it's a lot going on. I mean, like after the pandemics, we had a lot of interesting proposals, so difficult to select. But I think that the program is pretty interesting. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
So it was worth investing our time.
Yes. Yeah, you're happy with the selection you've made.
Yeah, I think I'm really enjoying.
Yes.
As I said, it's like I'm interested in animal models, but there is a lot of other stuff too, which is very interesting, and it's like provided in the form that is accessible for me. So I really appreciate it. I learned a lot.
Yeah. Good to hear. Good to hear. Yes. And are there any things particular that you want to see tomorrow or the day after tomorrow? Any advices for the people who are listening?
Well, I have my list.
Good.
Go ahead.
There is a symposium with new findings, which is always very interesting. So there are young researchers presenting their very fresh work. So there are like several topics that are particularly interesting for me. Among them, like the role of oxytocin in anterior insular cortex. This is a study in rats, but the results are very, very interesting, showing that the rats actually, well, the oxytocin in this part of the cortex modifies the emotional responses to pain, even if the physical responses are not changed, which is very surprising and very interesting. Also with some potential for translational research. There are also other interesting talks planned about depression and cognition and the relationship of the structural changes in the brain with cognitive decline in depression, and some interesting talk on the antibiotic treatment and the development in the critical periods. Again, in mice, but very important also for human studies. We very often neglect this developmental period, which was beautifully shown during the opening lecture, that it's very, very important. And especially when we study neurodevelopmental disorders, it's like crucial thing. So I think that it will be a very great session. I'm really looking forward to it.
Yes, enough to see. Yes, thank you. Yeah, any things on your list, Andreas?
Well, I'm pretty engaged tomorrow with kind of ECNP internal business that prevents me from having a look myself. But I will ask you guys what to watch after the Congress.
I've made a whole list.
Nice.
I cannot remember what is on my list, but the one thing I do remember is something for ECNP members. That's the General Assembly. I go each year. I think it's very important as a member to go to see what the year of the ECNP was like. So
Yes.
yeah.
Also, good thing. Yeah.
Yeah, with drinks also.
Yeah.
Afterwards.
That's also nice. Yes. Yeah, I think we're gonna close it down a little bit. But thank you very much for being here, for your suggestions, and for the things that you learned us, for everybody who wasn't at the sessions that you attended about the content. Yes, thank you very much, and have a good evening tonight.
Thank you, and have a great meeting.
Thank you.